Hi, math lovers. Welcome to notes number 12. Today, we're going to factor some super special trinomials, and we're going to also factor some binomials. So three terms and two terms. So the first kind of problem we're going to look at are perfect square trinomials. As you take a look at these very first problems in the front, okay, notice that you've got perfect square in the front right here and a perfect square here at the end. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I see the perfect squares, I see 4, I see 9, I see 16, 25, 36, 49. Right away, light sirens bells are going off for me. I'm going to try that as perfect squares. I look to see what the signs are. If it's all positive, I know both signs are positive. And if this one is negative, then I know that it's negative. So taking a look at this first problem I have here, right away, I see the 16, I see the 25, and I'm thinking to myself, these are perfect squares. So why not take the square root of 16 and the square root of 25 and go ahead and write them? And I did that as 4p in both sets of parentheses and 5q. I check my signs. The sign, of course, tells me that they're both going to be the same. And I look to the sign ahead of it. That's a minus. So they're both going to be minus signs. Same thing as question letter B. I have two perfect squares, like bookmarks at the end of the trinomial, all right? I've got 36x cubed, or excuse me, x squared, y squared, and 49. So I take the square root of both terms, put them in my two sets of parentheses, and I can just guess and check. I can guess and check to make sure it's right. I'm not sure. Maybe I do a little foiling. This is going to be 36x squared, y squared. I'll do 7 times 6, which is 42. And then I've got here the inside term, 7 times 6, which is again 42. That's going to build the 42 and 42 are going to give me the 84 in the middle. And then I've got the 7 times 7, which is going to be 49. That gives me that beautiful last term. Okay. Now let's switch from the trinomial to the binomial. Prefix bi means two. So two different kinds of problems we're going to work with. So first up is factoring the difference of two squares. Notice that I've got squares. One has a plus sign and one has a minus sign. So that's called the difference of two squares. And you guys are really, really familiar with those. You've done problems with those where you've got perfect square connected by subtraction. You take the square root of each term. One's a plus, one's a minus. Same thing here in letter B. You've got two perfect squares, and you're going to rewrite them as one addition and subtraction. Now, this one I just was showing you. Notice this is so, I'm going to make it bigger just so you can see it. Look at how right here we see 16k squared minus 25m squared. I can factor that again. Now, this term I cannot because the plus, I just can't factor it again. But the 16 is a perfect square. The 25 is a perfect square. So I can break that down to 4k and 4k, and then break 25m squared down to 5m and minus 5m. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. I just love it. Okay. Noticing this last one, C, this is where we really have to put your thinking cap on. You've got one perfect square here. All right. This is a perfect square and this is a perfect square. So what you're going to do is you're going to break it up. You're going to take the square root of the first term right here and the square root of the second term and put it here and here. One's a positive, one's a negative. I got to tell you, I kind of would like the problem better if it was written as, say, 4c squared minus the quantity a plus 2b squared, if that were the question, because then I'd really have to focus on distributing the minus sign. Let me show you. So I've got perfect square connected by subtraction. So this would be 2c minus parenthesis a plus 2b. Notice that I'm not changing anything in that set of parentheses. My second one is going to be 2c plus a plus 2b. Oh, this is good. Now I've got to distribute the minus. So it's 2c minus a minus 2b. Do you see that? This is what's going to separate our varsity mathematicians from our JV. Okay, that minus, distributing that minus sign, times the quantity 2c plus a plus 2b. Okay, so just this would be if I were making up the problems to share with you, or I wanted you to think about something a little harder, I definitely would do that kind of problem. Okay, the last kind of problem I would like you to think about is someone we've already covered. We've covered the cubes. Okay, so you've got your cubes right up here. Okay, we talked about these earlier on. We use SOAP to remember. The first one has the same sign. So this is a minus and this is a minus. This is a plus, this is a plus. The next one is the opposite sign. So again, I have the opposite signs. And the last one is always positive. Okay, so we'll practice with more of those cubes. You'll see some of them. If you don't remember the cubes, that was on worksheet A and worksheet B. We did those the first 2 days of school. You can go back and we spent a lot of time on the cubes. Okay. Have fun with your problem set.